Shalom, Gabar, Shalom, Yabashim al Sharbrakata, Shalom, King. Con, let me double check on that. Wow. Alright, Con. Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, the sincere elders of the Great Millstone, because that's where I learned this truth from. I want to give double honors to all the other elders, giving us this non-stop energy. The water Yahbashim, Yahshua, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, and we're seeing what's going on through the Spirit, and we're going to grow as the Lord has continued, but we also have to work on and do the work that the Lord has sent us to do. We have to be like men, and the Lord has a job for us to be doing. The Lord put us on the earth for the Spirit to have that that understanding, the Holy Spirit, seeing that all these evils and all these things are coming down as we're men. We are the stockbrokers, the priests of the Heavenly Father. We're the bakers, and we have to handle it as men. We have to gird up our loins as men. So Tawadi Bashim al Shai for even allowing us so we can do the work that He has sent us to do. So again, Shalom Gabar Shah, Shalom Yahbashim al Shai Brakatah, Yahbashim al Shai, Yahweh Bashim al Shai Brakatah, Shalom. So this is we see that the Lord, He wants us in a certain spirit. We're supposed to be in a spirit of Yahushua. And look at how He would answer when we would put Him in certain situations. This is Luke chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 44. Because even if you're young, it doesn't matter. The Lord wants you to grow and handle our family business. So this is verse 43. This is the Spirit of Yahushua. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child of Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem. And Joseph and his mother knew not of this. So we're going to have, even if Mary was a part of the church, Mary obviously was of the elect. Even all that stuff, we still have to do what the Lord, we have to do it for our sake. We have to do what the Lord has sent us. And He told us to preach the word. Be in season and out of season. So even when you do it, you have to worry about the ministry. So sometimes your family is not going to be with it. But that's what the Lord said. The ones that do the will of mine, let's grab that. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 50. For whatsoever shall do the will... Let's get up to context. Because this is what we're supposed to, in context. But this is the spirit we need to be. Verse 40 says, while he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without. So Yahushua was lost. Shalom Mashat, Yahbashim Yahushua Brakatah. His mother and father, they were looking for him. And right now his brother and his mother, and they wanted to desire to speak to him, even if the Lord is doing the Lord's work. And he said, then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and he said unto him, that told him, who is my mother and who is my brethren? And he stretched out his hand forth towards his disciples, towards the men that are doing this work, the men that are doing what the Lord has prescribed, setting up that family business, that family dynasty that the Lord put their spirit on them to do. He said, those are the ones, or my mother and my brother. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, is the same my mother, my sister, and my brother. We're setting up a legacy. We're setting it up through the Spirit of the Lord, a family business that will never fall, an empire passed throughout the entire elect. This is Luke chapter 2, verse 49. So we have to worry about 46. So we have to worry about the ones that are fulfilling and setting this order, the ones that are being obedient, the ones that are doing that. Because if you're not, and they're going and they're stopping, like when you're a liability to a company, what do? They fire you. We can't be liabilities. We have to be in that spirit of growing and helping the business prosper, being an asset. That's what we're supposed to be. Continuing. Verse 44, Luke chapter 2, verse 44. But they supposed to have been in the company. When a day of journey, they sought among them their kinsfolks and acquaintances. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem and seeking after him. And it came to pass after 3 days, they said, where were you at? And sometimes that's how it be in this truth. That's something you don't be talking to some of your family members for weeks, like cousins. I have family members, as soon as I got in the truth, I have not talked to them since. They just haven't been in the Spirit. I mean, they haven't been to the Lord. They're not helping the business that the Lord is putting forth. They're not about prophecy. They're about folly. But, so we have to understand that sometimes when you are in a business state of mind, for the Lord, doing the Lord's work, you got to cut some people off. And sometimes you can't talk to people every day. You are best friends with your brother. Where's your brother in the world? So you're not going to be able to talk to him like that. You're going to be going missing because you're handling what the Lord has sent forth for you. Looking at prophecy. Look what's all going on. Look what's going on. You're seeing a lot of immigrants coming in this country. You're seeing earthquakes, a hurricane that hit Hurricane Lee. That is said has stopped being a tropic storm, but storms are still hitting New England, and they're hitting the East Coast. We're seeing earthquakes hitting the Philippines, hitting Chile, hitting all these places that we have to put forth that spirit, because the Lord is building something. Salaki, let me drink some water. Well, you think he was a young man? You think Yahushua was like, I can't find my mom? No, you're sus. The Lord wants workaholics in this truth. It said 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of doctors, both hearing and asking them questions. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to learn this truth, understand this truth, and then we're supposed to entreat and preach the word. We're supposed to gain knowledge day by day. We're supposed to be doing so we can be an asset to the business of the Lord. And they all heard him when they were astonished at his understanding and at his answers. Because when you're in this truth, you grow faster. Like 1 year of this truth is like 10 years in the world. You grow as a man. You grow mature faster. You put in different situations. Because the Lord is fast tracking you as he does like a heir does to his kids. They got to learn the business. They got to learn it fast. So they're astonished because this is the man, the start of the head of the business, Yahushua. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father has sought thy sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is thou sought me? Wits ye not that I must be about my father's business? They even know. The Lord had a messenger go down, Shalom Nakawam, Yahbashim Al Shabrakatah. the Lord had a messenger go down and talk to Mary, telling, this is how I'm going to set up his empire. He was going to set up a man, and he was going to be ahead of this business. And he said this, and he was going to do the work of what the Lord sent them. And we're supposed to be in that same spirit. They see, all these people in the world, that you're in a different spirit, that you're maturing faster, that you're doing everything towards this ministry. So we have to also be like Yahushua and be about our Father's business. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. And in the spirit they quicken, and the flesh profiteth nothing. So that spirit is the one that quickening, liven you up, giving you that inspiration, that motivation. Everybody in the world, they always have a trouble, like, why do I need to work out? Why did I need to do that? Why do they get up in the morning? Well, we have the inspiration. Because if you look at that breath, that the Holy Spirit, the Nashama, we have the inspiration of preaching and doing what the Lord has sent us to do on this earth. Shalom, Hananiah, Yahbashim Al-Shabrakatah. Going out and preaching the word, bidding these people to the marriage so we can bring forth the end of the world. That is our lot, and we have it, and it's quickening us. And the flesh, you can get these experience, or you travel, that helps gain knowledge and understanding, and the more hell, but nothing as much as this truth. That I speak unto you, they are spirits, and they are life. And we're having it, and we're getting that life experience. Like they say, like 1 year in the truth is like 10 years in the world. Because that's how fast you grow. That's why you see like brothers like Nakawam, which is a very young brother, and he's like far beyond his years. Like he's older in the spirit, like other people that are like young in the flesh, but now are like ancient in the spirit. Not ancient, not before elder, but you know what I mean. So don't get simple. But I like a couple precepts, and then I'm gonna get into the lesson. Just want to get into the point, because we have to be in that spirit of being mature. We have to be in that spirit of understanding that we're not here to do our will. We're here to do what the Lord has. We're here to do His business. What's that precept? And we ultimately, when you do a business, let me grab it real quick. Look at what he told Yahushua when he was Solomon. I'm gonna get it when I'm gonna get it with Job, and then I'm gonna get it with Solomon first. Bear with me, Salakia. This is 1 Chronicles chapter 28, verse 20. And David said unto Solomon his son, be strong and have a good courage. Because that's what the man is supposed to be. They're on this world to be a protector unto his people. Be strong. When you're a man, you have things that you have to do. So if your country's getting attacked, you got to fight. When your family needs to eat, you have to work. And so the Lord said, be strong and be in a good courage. Do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for the Lord God, even my God, will be with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee until thou hast finished the work for the service of the house of the Lord. But slow down, me. But I wanted in Samuel's. Bear with me. I'm going to grab this. Yeah, God, I'll praise it. This is from the brother Hananiah. Do you know where that when David told Solomon to be a man because all the things that were going? This is from the brother Hananiah. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 10. The Lord has brought forth all righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the works of the Lord of God. And what is his works? That he's going to be praised throughout the earth. That he's going to come and deliver his people. That he's going to put judgment upon this place. And he's going to set up an empire that never shall fall. That's what he said. Big man things. Yeah, that kind. Yeah, that man. And we got to understand, because the Lord is not expecting nothing less. Look what he said. Look what he said to Job. He's not saying, oh man, just God was catching hell. Like not unrighteously, because he probably had to do, but the Lord was testing him. And he knew that the Lord, he even was bragging about Job, Yahweh. He said, he escheweth evil. Is there any man as perfect? All the things he was saying. And he was catching hell. Rightfully that he was on complain. Kind of perfect, the water, king. This is 1 Kings chapter 2 verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And so, when we all had it. I had that conversation 144. I had that conversation with my grandfather last year when he was supposed to die. He said, go to his men that we need to set up and put the family order. I'm the first of the last name. He said, so David was getting his house in order. He already had who was going to set and be, which the Lord gave him. What's up? What the Lord gave him, who was going to fulfill and go through his house. That's what the Lord said. And he should die. And he charged Solomon, his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth, but thou, strong therefore, and show thyself a man. Show yourself a man. What is a man? The responsibility. A man is just not a name. It's a person that takes responsibility, does the responsibilities that are put forth by taking care of the house, doing what the Lord has spoke, protecting the family, doing all the things. He says, show and do what the Lord has put you on the earth to do. And what we're supposed to be doing is preaching the word. We're supposed to show and give our people opportunity to repent, doing that work, the labor on this earth. Verse 3, and keep the charge of the Lord thy God to walk in his ways. And that's how we showing that we are, that's how you know you can be like a righteous man. Let's grab that. What is it? Bear with me. Oh, I know it. This is Titus chapter 2, verse 7. Verse 6. Young man, being it actually, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded. Always going, the laws and statutes. He said, keep the commandments, do all that stuff. Always thinking about the responsibilities that the Lord said. He said, they keep the commandments, keep the statutes, be obedient unto them. Being sober-minded, not going into off doctrines. Because what does a child do? A child can get super drunk and do all that and make mistakes. When you get to a man, you can't take that mistakes because you have a family to uphold. You have a responsibility to your house. And in all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works. Because if you do that, a good name is above. Let me grab that. Because when you showing yourself, oh, he has responsibility. He's doing, look at this man. And now they're going to look at the people that come down from your line, or the people that are coming in their same, they either camp, but not even, because, there's some people that are good in the camp and there's some people are wicked. But I'm talking about like how you show how you show yourself. You'll have a name for yourself, knowing that, oh, this is the man. Just as Job, he had a good man. He said, is there any man like him that showeth evil? A good name. This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches. So you're showing yourself good works. You're doing what the Lord told you. Oh, he goes out and he teaches my people. He keeps the law, statutes, and commandments. He shows that this is the man that I have put the Spirit on. It's greater than greatest riches. Because now look at, oh, he's trustworthy. I'm going to give him more responsibility. He's showing himself a man. I'm going to put him right. Because the Lord's flock is men. Shalom Shahar of Judah, Yahba Shemal Shar Brakatah. And loving favor rather than silver and gold. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one that's birth. But a good name is that's how important it is. And how do you have a good name? Let's continue. Verse 7. And in all things showing thyself a pattern of good words. So now if he preaches the word, he goes out on the highways and hedges. He even when he goes off sometimes, because we all make mistakes, he's willing to get rebuked. He's showing himself he examining himself. He's continuously putting forth and getting better. That's saying, oh, that is a man of the Lord. That is a man. Because remember, it's the man of the Lord first. And how to be a man of the Lord, you have to show yourself a man too. By working, taking responsibility on your actions, doing all this stuff that the Lord has prompted the ones that are leading. And in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gratitude, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. Because if you're doing it, show yourself a good name. Not going off on doctrine. Not being able to take rebuke. Doing all these things. What can someone say? How are they going to gainsay or say, some people are going to still say something. It's like, I know he's doing all this stuff, but I just don't like the nigga because he's not in my camp. That's what some men, well, the Lord's seeing that, and the ones that the true believers, they're seeing that, and they're not going to be able to say nothing. They're gonna follow you. You're gonna be able to they're gonna be able to see that this is what a man of the Lord looks like, doing the Lord's business. And he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. They're gonna be mad and they're gonna get worse. But what can they say against you? Because you're showing yourself to be a good man unto the Lord. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 16. Ye shall know by their fruits. You should know by their fruits. So you see the man growing, he's taking responsibility. He has a job. He's also doing the Lord's work. He's also now getting fruit onto showing, teaching more men. This is a man that the Lord put forth. Of thorns and figs of thistles. So look at this. They have it, these things that you can't really, you got to clip them off, and it's still hard to get them. You don't even want to gather them. It's going to cut you. It's dangerous. No. Even so, every tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree, they bring forth evil fruit. So you see the men that are prescribing on certain people, when they start watching them, and they're not in the right spirit, the people that are watching them is going to be in a wrong spirit, a hateful spirit, always talking about the black woman spirit, always in that controversy, going against having people come up against them spirit. Because if the ones that are in that right spirit, the elect, the sheep's going to hear their voice, and they're going to want to be edified. And even if they're not of the elect, they still going to let you be able to be edified to the sheep that are listening. And that's what's going to be showing forth. Let me grab, I never finished that one. Let me grab it. And I need to grab that brother Hananiah scripture too. This is continuing 1 Kings chapter 2 verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord, to walk in his ways and to keep his statutes, because that's how you're going to show forth good fruit. And his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses. And the law is still here. We're not saved by the law, but how you know a man is about the Lord and how it's showing that he believes in the Lord, he's going to be showing his actions. So you're not going to have a man like, yeah, I believe in the Lord, and he's going to go right out to Domino's Pizza and buy a pepperoni pizza with extra sauces and say he believes in the Lord. That's not showing his faith. That's just showing that he's not showing a pattern of good works. That's reprobate. And then he's going to start teaching men. Say, I know, we're saved by the law. They're going to start saying that. We're under the new, they're going to be going into that, showing for bad fruit. So keeping the laws is important. You can't keep them all the way, though. That thou mayest prosper in all that us do it. Because if you do this, showing your patterns of good work, what is it going to bring to you? Life. It's going to bring for you benefits. Hey, what's up? It's going to give you, let's just grab it. We always grab it, but it's important why this is a huge topic on people, especially of the world. And they said these are done. That's not showing yourself a man, not doing the responsibilities. You have a job to do, and one job we need to be doing. Pretty much every job a man should be doing. Let's grab it. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. This is the ending of the conclusion. Pretty much the summarization of what you should be doing for the Lord. Solomon wrote this book. Straight Wisdom, the last verse, he said, all right, concluding that, he said, vanity is vanity. The Lord judges the things of the past, all the things that he was describing. And he said, let's see the conclusion of the whole matter. Let's understand what you should be doing. If you want to treat and show yourself a man, if you want to be loved of the Lord, let's say, of the whole matter, fear God. Fear Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And you have to fear Yahweh Shai too, because didn't the Lord say, kiss the Son? Which if you look at what kiss means, worship the Son, lest he be angry. And keep his commandments. What did he tell Solomon? What had he been telling our forefathers? Keep my statutes and commandments. Understand my judgments. You're supposed to. That is your whole job. That is your job that the Lord put you on the earth. And if you happen to also be a preacher, a commandment is also to go out to the highways and hedges and preach. All these, everything written in this book is a commandment that you should be doing. The Lord commanded you to do. He said, feed my sheep if you want to show your love. But that's the whole conclusion. For this is the whole duty of man. The whole duty, your job description on you being on this earth, on this place. This is your whole duty. Let's read it again if you guys didn't understand. Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Fear Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And that's the beginning of understanding. And keep his commandments. If you fear him, you will obviously keep his commandments. Because when you don't do it, that's not. And you're not showing yourself a man. You're showing yourself a child. Because a child has to be told multiple times, multiple things, multiple, I need to do this, I need to do. We all came in as a child, say something different. I had to grow up an older child to come into this truth because I was keep messing up. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Let me see. Verse 10. But when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, we all came into a childlike state. We don't understand, when you're a child, it's like, when I was in the high school and stuff, or when I was younger, I just liked to do nefarious things. I just liked to do, like, fuck around, play ding dong ditch, doing all that stuff, not listening, being rebellious, because that's the state of a child. They always want to test your thought. They always want to test the authority. But now we don't have those thought processes. We have to know that now we have responsibilities to take care of. That we have bills, and we have spiritual bills to be paying too, because we have rent to do. The Lord gave us an ability to. He gave us money. He literally fronted us money, and He said, "Pay that back." And now we have bills to pay. We have that grace that we got to pay back. I spoke as a child, speaking in all these dumb ways, this folly filled, mixing stuff up because we don't have our thoughts properly, or because we don't really have guidance, Until you have guidance, you're not going to be able. But we have guidance. And what did He say? His laws, statutes, and commandments. And I understand as a child. But when I became a man, when the Lord put the Spirit on me, and I start getting the understanding, when I start listening and treating and seeing how Israel goes, what the Lord expects from us, what statutes, commandments, you're supposed to, I say, I can't eat pork. Which, if you still eating pork now and you know the Lord, you still thinking as a child. If you still committing adultery, doing and being that rebel, you're thinking as a child. You're not growing up. You're not taking responsibility on what the Lord has put forth, so you can make and pay those bills that the Lord wants you to pay, which is receiving and putting forth more fruit, doing and growing as a man in the Spirit. Though as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. So we can't be doing the same thing. You had a problem of going out and partying in the world. You need to get past that. You have a problem of not being able to take rebuke. You have a problem of not being able to look at yourself and saying, yeah, I'm wrong. That is a child. You have to literally explain to a child over and over why are they doing wrong, or what they're messing up with. Well, what did the Lord say? Let's grab this. Slakia, kind of losing my voice, man. Might have to, with the water Yahweh Shema Shai. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. So now you got it. Now you know what is expected to yourself. Now you have to examine yourself. Now you have to, because that's what men do. A woman, I'm not saying women that are in the truth, but a woman quality of the world, especially the modern woman, is not to take accountability. They don't examine themselves. It's everyone else's fault. It's why they're in that thing. Accountability and logic is out of the question for them. But the Lord is not expecting, because you're not them. You are the men. If you have this faith, the Lord's seeing, and He's telling you to gird up your loins. and be a man. Examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own self. Even in this world, as a man, they're not going to look and say, oh man, you're super sad. Or you can take that. No, you have to prove yourself. You want a spot on the football team, you got to prove yourself that you deserve that spot. You know, they do other wicked shit, but most of the time, the person that is trying the hardest and doing the work, they are going to prove themselves. They have to prove what their value is. Know ye not your own self? You know, as a child, when we have child thoughts, you're finding yourself. You don't know who you are. Well, the Lord gave you a fast track that says, you are of the children of Israel. This is your heritage. This is what you need to be doing. These are the rules of your manhood. And so now you know. So now you can't be thinking that, I'm still trying to find myself. Nope. No, that's childish thoughts. How that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates, void of judgment, not understanding, not taking accountability. The Lord is not having that effeminate bitch ass spirit. If you cannot understand that you going off, because we all gonna go off in something, especially being young. Name anybody on earth that's perfect. The only person that did that was Yahushua, and he was humble as hell. You not humble. When you go in, if you can't control your spirit, what's going to happen to you? You're going to be swallowed up. Because you might think, as a man, we know that if you talk crazy to everybody, someone down the line is going to try you. It's like, because they're a man. They're not going to let another man talk to them any way they are. So what happens? Now you're not controlling your spirit, and what's going to happen? And then if you can't control your spirit, and you're a leader of people, and you're just going out, now you're going to start losing casualties. Now you're not showing yourself a man. You're being void of your judgment. Now I pray to God that ye do not evil, Salakia, missed the verse. But I have trust that ye shall know that ye are not reprobates. He should trust you. If you're able to understand that you're not, now you got to start examining yourself. Now you're like, all right, I understand what I need to do. I just need to start doing it. Now I pray to God that ye do not evil, nor that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest through being though we be as reprobates, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Knowing that, they say stoic, that's what we're supposed to. What is the stoic's number one thing? That you cannot control what's happening. You can't control the opportunity or the situation you are in. You're going to be vexed. You're going to go through hell. You're going to go through all these things that the Lord puts for. But the only thing you can control is how you react to it. Are you going to go and bug out? Be crying about it, screaming, all that stuff? You think even in the world, do people care about men's tears? No. They let you die. So are you going to cry about it, or are you going to be about it? Let's grab it. Because that's what the Lord told Job. This is Job chapter 40, verse 7. And this is after he was crying unto the Lord. And telling all, and he was catching hell, rightfully. He was catching hell. Lost his family, wife, his looks, everything. Friendship, everything was against him. And right to cry. But did anyone care? Did the Lord care? Look what the Lord cared, but look what he told you. Because this is what a father tells his son. The world's not going to care about you. You got to just gain up and you got to grow. This is... Come on. Oh, beautiful. This is, and I gotta grab this other precepts from these brothers too. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13. Watch ye and stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men, be strong. Say quit like men don't quit. They go through the situation no matter what's going on. They continuously be strong. If you are fighting for your nation and you just give up, what is going to happen? You know, in the ancient world, it was no quitting. When we were going through the land of Canaan, how many males survived of the other nations? Well, when you were a man, that was the difference between your people going into slavery. Your women became concubines and all the men dying. So you had to fight for what's yours. Watch ye and stand fast. Stand up for the faith. I hope you don't turn around. This is Job chapter 40, verse 7. Gird up thy loins now like a man. Said, man, you better sack up. Gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee. This is what's expected. I will demand of thee to be a man. This is what that Lord was telling you. So can you just cry and all that stuff? Nah. And you can't even do it in the world. You got to stand up. And declare thou unto me. And declare unto me, will thou also disannul my judgment? Will thou condemn me? Thou mayest be righteous. Hast thou a arm like God? Or canst thunder with a voice like him? He was saying, are you crying? Like, can you do anything? I mean, can you do better? Have I not put and gave you the understanding? Has he not? Can you do better? All you have to do is deal with it. You cannot switch and control the situations that are put forth you. The only thing you can do is gird your loins up like a man. Be strong and be in a good courage. Do all the things that the Lord told us. Show yourself men. As Yahushua did, he had to go against the entire wicked of our nation. Well, you know, the northern kingdom, but they hated him too. But mostly the southern kingdom, when they were spitting on them, throwing rocks on them, calling them and putting them in the shade, doing all these things. And he was like, he cried to the Lord for a little bit. He said, if it be your will, can you take it? But then he knew that it was. So he had to deal with it. He had to deal with what the Lord has brought forth. Let me grab this from the brother. I missed it. This is Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. And that's going into new bodies, huh? Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable. Unmovable. Like, you know, when you have it, and that's the good thing. Like, you have to look at qualities of Jay. They're hard-headed, but imagine if that hard-headedness was with the Lord. Nothing's going to change their mind. Nothing you can prove, nothing. The Lord was doing miracles on them. So imagine if that was in righteousness. You got to be that in righteousness. That nothing is going to change your mind on the fact that what the Lord has put forth. And nope, I'm going to believe in no matter what happens. Look at the hard-headed of our people. Shalom, elder. Yahweh Shemal Shai Brakatah. Shalom. And 444. Be unmovable. Always abounding in the work of the Lord. Because that's all you have. That's all we do. We have to continuously grow and put. If you are a CEO of a business, and what happens when you don't grow your company even up, and they expect a lot in these new world, like 20% increase, depending on what market you is. So imagine you're not doing it, not growing, that company staying the same. They take you in the room and say, hey, it's got to change. They might talk to you once, 1 year, and the second year, and then bam, it's kaboot. You're out. You're out of the company. You're fired. For as much ye know that the labor is not in vain in the Lord. It's not in vain. We're not doing nothing. We're not just working and being like, this is not a hobby for us. We are setting up a high-functioning business that the Lord has set up from the beginning. He gave us the business plan, and now we're pitching it. And we're also growing it to our people right now, telling them that this is what the Lord is going to put forth on the earth. And we're going to continuously grow, and we're going to be an empire that will never grow. And it's going to be the most high-functioning business that you ever see. So that's why we're ahead, and we got to stay up and be a man. There's another one in Job. Let me grab it. I forgot where it is. Barely. Let me just grab this. This is Proverbs chapter 22. Verse 29. Seeing now a man is diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings, and he shall not stand before mean men. This is if he's diligent in a business. He's not going to go back for a hater. The Lord is going to accept, and what is it going to happen? He's going to get stronger, and he's going to, a good name is going to bring him a lot of places, and the Lord is going to grow and abound him in this truth. Because he's doing what the Lord prescribed him on this earth. He's setting his house in order. Because that's the number one thing a man should be doing. Let's grab this. This is 2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 13. Now, therefore, set thy house in order. And how can you set anything in order if you're in disorder? If you're not able to organize your own self? You telling someone to imagine if you're a messy person and you're telling another person how to clean. How do you know if you're not even in order? You're not in it. You don't understand. You don't have that representation. Representation. Salakia. Reprove thy people. You know, the man in the house, they got to be the bad guy. When the one person, when they're getting punished, you know, the children acting up, the mom comes and tells the dad, you have to be the punisher. You have to be the person that, hey, yeah, you gotta fix this. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. You have to, and that's what the Lord told us. And he said, gird up your loins like a man. Well, it's David told Solomon to be a man. Tell our people we gotta rebuke, exhort, and on all on suffering. Comfort such as them that be in trouble. You have to be that. Okay, that's where it is. This is Job chapter 38, verse 3. Gird up now thy loins like a man. For I demand of thee, and answer thou me. This is the same thing. This is what the Lord said. He said, say it with me. He was saying, look up, look at me. I demand you to listen to me. How does it go? He said, gird up your loins. He said, be a man. Look at me straight. And no understanding all the hell you're doing, that's just, you're going to have to just deal with it. You're just going to have to be a man about it, and you're going to have to continuously move on. Gird up for the battle. Because when you girded up your loins, it's just like when Jake always picks up his pants. They would tie him, getting ready for the battle. Being understanding that the Lord is putting this hell on you, and you just have to fight through it and still come out great. Because that's what men are expected to do. That's what he's expecting you to do. He's demanding it. And Shalom of Malak La'ab Yabashim Al-Shai Brakatah. This is Psalm chapter 27, verse 14. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. And that's all it is. Because we're going to hell, but if we're praying unto the Lord, casting our burdens onto the Lord, 144, and doing all the things that the Lord has told us, what is he going to be doing? He's going to, all right, I'm going to give him more strength, or I'm going to give him more patience. I'm going to give all that stuff. And ultimately because a child is hasty. A woman is more hasty. They worry about it. But a man has to be calm, and they have to look at the situation, and they have to think. Well, what we use as thinking and what the Lord wants us when we think is to pray on everything we're doing and making sure that when we put it on our power, on our strengths, that nothing's going to take it from us. He shall strengthen thy heart, that mind. He's going to make you have a strong mind. And that's by putting hell on you and having you be able to be going through these things and being strong and still coming out here no matter what preaching. Wait, and I say unto the Lord. Now therefore set thy house in order and reprove thy people. Cover such there as to be in trouble. And so when you grow as a man, now you're that tool that everyone leans on. Then when something happens in the house, when a kid or your wife, something's going on, or now even as a man of the Lord, you're talking about of all the ones that are believers. They're going to be having to lean on you, and you're going to have that understanding and that mental fortitude to give them advice, even when it's not, even if they don't even like it, telling them, hey man, you need to work on this. Because that's what a business or a CEO, when someone's going, they have to have a talk to them so they can increase production. And now renounce corruption, because all that's going to do is fail. Let go from the mortal thoughts. So we can't think as what these men on this earth is doing. They think about mortal death. They think about how they're going to feed their family when the famine, well, they're not even thinking about the famine. They're thinking that they can prep or do all they're in folly. But when those things happen, they're going to be thinking about how they're going to feed their family. We ain't thinking about that. We're thinking about how we're going to feed the sheep. That's what it is. That's what a person of the Lord will have a more immortal thought of a godly mindset of the mind of Yahushua, because they weren't worried about the apostles, weren't worried about what they're going to eat. The Lord said, think about not what you're going to eat or what you do. He said, you don't even take a bag. Just go by faith. And our faith is going to grow as that amount. So don't even have those thoughts. Cast away the burdens of men. And this is talking about the weak, of like the mortal man. Now they have a burden like, oh yeah, they got to pay rent, which we don't have to worry about it, because we know if we're doing the work, the Lord is going to take care of us. We get in the flesh sometimes, but we have to have a great thought. That good mana is teaching right there. Yeah. Put off that weak nature. That's what the Lord was demanding of Job. He said, even all that hell, and it was a lot of hell. You're not catching the amount of hell Job was catching. Let's face it. Are you out? And what did the Lord say? He demanded you to be and just sack up. Take it how it is. Understand that you got things to work on. That's what he said. He's demanding you. So you got to put off that weak nature. Oh man, I'm going to fall out. If you having that thought, man, you need to reevaluate yourself. So man, maybe I just should quit. You need to reevaluate yourself. Maybe I need a vacate. Nope, you need to reevaluate yourself. What is those people that are most successful in businesses? They don't be taking the first 5 years. If you ever understand, if you open a business, they said the first 5 years, you're working 110 hours a week. You're not taking vacations. You're building it up. And this ministry is not set. You're still building it. And when we are in that Jacob's trouble, then we might, when the famine of the word, not have to teach. But we're going to still have to have that faith. And we're not going to have to teach in Jacob's trouble, letting you know. But But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. As set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. And haste thee to flee from this time. For yet greater evils. This is why the Lord is setting and making us strong for this time. Because there's about to be a lot of evils on this earth. And the only people that are going to be able to deal with it are the men of the Lord. The men that have that manly state, that spirit, that they're always going to have faith on the Lord. They're going to be strong. They're going to continuously put forth, and they're going to be that person that a house needs. Because look what happened when they took the man out of the house in the world. The family was destroyed. So the Lord is building back his men. So that's what we're asking. And that's what the Lord is asking. To be men and gird up thy loins. So with that, I want to give all glory, honors, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakak Wadash, the Wadiyah, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakak Wadash, DTA, and above, the Wadiyah, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, and Shalom.